Hello and welcome to a rather beautiful but rather chilly February day here in beautiful Nova Scotia. I'm in the greenhouse, the new greenhouse at the top of my property, and if you look outside we've had a couple of feet of snow in the last few days, and it's absolutely toppers out there, but inside here it's actually, I think it's about -7 outside. Inside here at the moment the sun has just come round and it's about 0, so it's warm enough for me to keep my cap on rather than my woolly hat. And so lots of snow on the ground, not a lot I can do really out in the garden at this time. In fact, there's absolutely nothing. So I'm in the greenhouse again, and I thought I might as well carry on building my raised bed, my central raised bed here in the greenhouse. As you remember, I've already done the side raised bed, a couple of feet high, a couple of feet deep, about 12 foot long. Really quite pleased with that, and I've already got, as you can see, got things growing in there nicely, and so that's all done nicely. So now I'm going to move on to this central bed. Oh, by the way, if you haven't seen the build of that, there's a video up there now showing you how I did that with the hugelkultur and all that sort of stuff, using just pallet wood mostly. So again, onto this central bed, I want to try and reuse as much recycled materials as much as possible. I've already made a start. So as you can see here, this is it. Looks quite deep, isn't it? But it's only 2 foot high, and there'll be a little top cap across there. I'm going to make it 5 foot wide. Now I know some of you are going to say, well, you were all saying it should be 4 foot wide, but I want to use the available space in here, and if I only make it 4 foot wide, I've got a load of sort of corridor space either side that I'm not really using. So I'm going to sort of break my own rule, and I can still lean over quite nicely, and because it's high, that should be okay anyway. So I'm going to make it 5 foot wide, and it's going to be about 10 foot long. So at the moment, I think this is about, what have we got? Where's my measuring tape? I spy. Right, so it's just over 3 foot wide at the moment, so I need another couple of feet. What I'm using is I found these in the dump area at work. Nice, some nice. It looks like it was some sort of boxing that they were using, and it was all broken up. So but it's nice and thick. So I'm using these, and I think they look quite good as well. And I'm going to use these all across. I think I've got enough to go across, and just a little bit round the corners. And then I'll have to use other pallet wood. And the actual cross pieces are these bits that I got down the local hardware store. They're part of something to do with the pallets as well, and they just chuck them away as well. So I've got loads of these, as you can see. Bring this round. Just using these to nail the boards, and also from a recycling point of view. So this don't break. I'm reusing all the nails, or as many nails as possible, that I take out of the pallets when I take them apart. So this is a real recycling job all the way around, and I think it's going to look good, because if you look at that one over there, that one looks really nice. Well, I think so anyway. So I'm going to carry on with this. I'm going to just, like I said, connect another piece on the end here, and then I'll continue to nail these across, and then I'm going to put it just down here, and then I've got the job of filling it. I'm obviously not going to be able to completely fill it right now, because snow's on the ground and I haven't got any earth to fill it with, but I can start. Actually, I can start once I've done this. I'll come back to you, and then we'll fill it with lots of logs, and that I'll go in the woods behind me, get a load of logs and stuff and put that in there. I think I've got a load chopped up, etc. I've got horse manure as well, so I'm going to put a load of horse manure in there. I'm even going to put new horse manure in there. And the reason I'm going to do that is because it's February. Again, I've probably got, even though I'm going to be using the greenhouse, I've got a couple of months before I'm going to be putting stuff in there. And I can put at least the bottom layer with horse manure and wood, etc. And even though that's going to be continually breaking down, then any plants that I plant in the top layer won't get their roots down into the bottom layer. And also, with the horse manure that are breaking down, I'm getting ahead of myself here, it'll act hopefully as a bit of a hotbed as well. So there's a couple of good things there, but we'll come to that when we come to it. Let me carry on with this, and I'll see you back in a minute. Hello, welcome back. Well, a bit of progress made since your last visit. I've made the front now and sort of part of the side. As you can see, it's just about 5 foot wide. A few changes in design since our last little chat. Mrs. F deigned me with a royal visit to the greenhouse and decided that she liked the look of this front area here and how she'd like to sort of sit down, and whether it be in early spring or autumn time when it's a bit too cool to be outside but nice and warm here and looking out of the windows there, and she could have a nice read of her book. So I've had to move where I'm going to start this raised bed a bit further back. So between the door and the raised bed is about 5 foot now, and as you can see, that's a nice little sitting area there where, like I said, you could look out onto the garden there and enjoy the sun and read a book. So that's fair enough. But what it means is now my raised bed's going to be still 5 foot wide, but it's only going to be 8 foot long, which reaches out still quite a bit, and we'll have a look at that when I've built that far back. That's okay. 4 foot by 8 foot bed, plus that bed there, plus all the pots, and that's still going to be a hell of a lot of real estate for me to grow some nice tomatoes and, you know, all the warm stuff in the summer. So I'm still happy with that, and we'll get a nice little sitting area where we can enjoy the sun on the inside when it's not too warm on the outside. Right, I'm going to get on with moving this further onwards, and I'll get back to you. Hello, welcome back. As you can see, I'm all finished. Tops all on, all 4 sides. Pretty simple, really. There's nothing particularly difficult about how I put it together. As you can see, I've literally just got the horizontal bars going across on the top and the bottom, and then I've put in some uprights in the corners where needed, and just where there's you know, any sort of more firmness is needed, that's why I put some sort of thick bit in there. So I'm pretty pleased with that, nice and sturdy. 4 feet by 8 feet. Like I said, I've got these top bits on. These are just some spare bits of wood I had lying around in the shed. I've chamfered, put the corners on, so it looks half decent. Now all I've got to do is fill it. As you can see, I've made a start by getting some tree stumps in. So I'm not going to get some tree stumps in. So I'm not going to go into the whole filling it. I'm not going to go into the whole filling it up routine in this video, because you've seen it before in my previous videos for the side raised bed there, and if you haven't, there's a link up there now. Basically, I'm using the old hugelkultur method of putting loads of logs, and as you can see, tree stumps in this instance, and I'm going to get some more logs, etc, etc. I don't need to put any sort of cardboard or protective mulch on the bottom, because it's that deep that no weeds are going to come up through that. Once I've put all of these stumps in and what other branches I'm going to find, I'm going to get a load of horse manure from my local stables. I'm going to fill it up, and then the last, I don't know, about a foot or so will just be earth. That'll be a few weeks to come yet, because I won't get it delivered till sort of April time. I've got a bit of earth down the bottom. Once it thaws out, I might see if that's enough. But other than that, job is definitely. But other than that, I like it. I'm liking the front. Looks good from. Looks good from the front. I've got some scruffy bits on the back side, but from the front and the sides, it's mostly looking, I think, good. Another bed. So I've got two main beds in there now. That big 2 foot by something like 12 foot bed there, 4 foot by 8 foot, and then I've got all the benches there, which is starting to fill up, as you can see, with seedlings already. I've got some broccoli, some asters for plants, green onions, bunching onions, I think you call them here in North America. I've got some Asian greens there. What else have I got? Some more asters, I think. But I've got a load more stuff in the house. I'm going to be bringing them. Got another cold night tonight, and then I think that's it for a few weeks on the forecast anyway, for really cold nights. So I'm going to bring all my seedlings out here, except for chilies and tomatoes and stuff. That bed there is looking good. I'll be changing all that bed for the stuff that's growing there soon. So I'm going to get a few more harvests out of that bed, and then onto the new stuff, and spring is on its way. The sun is shining, the bed's nearly complete, job's a good one.